Happy Friday, everybody. It is good to be here and good to have a chance to get into the markets. Just going to start things out with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you again for another day and thank you for all of your blessings and all your goodness and kindness and mercy. Just give you so much thanks for all these things. And I just also pray for wisdom and discernment as I go into the market and make some choices here. And I ask these things in your name, Yeshua, Jesus. Amen. All right. Let's go look at the news. It's trying to load. What's going on here? So my internet seems to be a little bit funny. I'm just going to go straight to the MT5 scene and see if I can. Okay, it seems like my MT5 is loading up there. I don't know why the internet, the news was just not showing up. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone and just have a quick look because for whatever reason, it's not coming up here. So during the London session, I'm going to just show you what was going on here on the 15-minute chart. Right in here, there was like a good amount of up and down movement through the London session, 20 pips back and forth, and that was pound retail sales, French flash manufacturing, German flash manufacturing, and pound flash manufacturing. So all that stuff was going on during the London session and made a good amount of movement. And then coming into our session, the New York got Canadian core retail sales. That's at 8:30. And then really the mover for us is going to be at 9:45 US flash manufacturing PMI. So maybe the first hour may not be as active, but we will find out. So just go to the daily chart and just remove all these trade history. It's so funny. Look at the trade history on the daily chart here. It's like there's some trading going on. And just clean these charts up so we can see what's going on. All right. So on the daily, you got this whole week has been fairly bullish, but it was not yesterday, but it was Wednesday. We had that massive pullback in here, and that's what that was. And the market responded, rebounded right back up to where it wanted to be from earlier. So definitely still into a bullish week. The whole week is bullish. And for the moment, we're still up in the highs coming into Friday. But it is Friday, and we can see some funky things go down on Friday. So fasten up your seatbelts. It can be really wild. So we're down to the smaller time frames. And I'm going to put the history back on here. Just last night, I placed some trades in here. Made a little bit of money. Oh, I should also see, let you know what we're starting with today. 99, 52, 33. Just going to write that down. And 52, 33. 33 is what we're starting out with this morning. Yeah, so I made about 14 bucks last night in the account. We're back there, and now we're starting in here. Got this really long grind for the past couple hours. Here's the 5-minute chart. We've got this level is acting as resistance at the moment. So if we can break over that, probably go test those old highs of yesterday. But it definitely doesn't have to break over that. And then just go into the 1-minute chart. Put a couple more levels in here. This will be a good level. And it is just bouncing off of another level right now. So I'll probably use that if it comes back down. And then right in here, these lows and these highs. This is another good spot. So, and then all the way down to here. Let's see how far that is. So from the price right now, all the way down to there. Oh, it's only 13 pips. Need to back out a little bit more. Okay, well, that's not bad. That should offer up a good amount of small opportunities for the next hour. So on these pullbacks, I'll start getting into some longs and then just slowly layer in as it goes against me, because I want to be long in this market. And so for me, when this pulls back, this is getting good. That means I start to size up and get into a position that I want to be in. Because as it comes into these lows, that's where I want to put the more of my position in. Because I am a bull on the longer term. I'm going to draw a trend line in here. So this is what I'm looking at in the bigger picture. So as this market pulls back into this big trend, that's where I want to really be placing my size. And that's for me is getting good. So when this market goes against me, that's good, because this is where I want it to be. So like, I'm not even really happy until the market pulls all the way back into here. That's where I'm starting to get excited that I get to load up into my positions. So until then, I'll be really light trading. Okay. Just gonna try and put one trade in here. Actually, let me just measure it. Gotta be careful not to use up my trades as marker trades too often. Yeah, there's not even enough space yet. So I need that market to come down to this line before I can place a trade. And if I do, that will allow me to get my targets in below these highs. So that'll be a good spot. Just needed to push a tiny bit lower and I can start getting in. Finger on the trigger. There we go. Oh. Okay. That was super laggy. And I've got 2 positions in, which is okay. But I wonder if it's just my internet is just being slow or what is going on. I'm not quite sure. Like I couldn't get that internet news page to load up. And then those trades just took like 3 or 4 seconds to get into the market. Seems like my internet's okay. I'm gonna just remove one of those targets in case it decides it just wants to pop through. Right back into the targets already. And we got profit. And I'm gonna just secure that other one. My rule is to not let that ever become a losing trade. So once it becomes profitable, it either has to be take all the profits or at least break even, but I can't let it turn back into a loser, just as a personal rule. So now we're in a little free trade, and if it breaks up, great. If it comes back down, we'll just get into another, might just wait, pause, and see if the market breaks down further before getting in, but either way, it's going to offer up another opportunity to get back in. And it is trying to break up. Got to close above those highs, and it's right on that 17450 mark. Right on those old highs. It's actually just pushing through right now. So we could see a bit of follow through. I'm going to just secure that trade up a little bit higher. Lock in a little bit more profit. And there we go. Now we can just let this thing ride. Now, if the market comes right back down, we'll take about a pip and a half of profit. If it keeps going up, we'll just keep trailing that market up and make more. And I gotta make just under $50 now to get back to my break-even mark. So that shows you when I hit my stop losses, it takes the majority of the week to get back to zero. So I don't want to hit those stop losses. And at the start of this week, just had a really strong market and just took out my stops. And that set me back about 4 days. So those stop losses are a good and safe ejection tool to be using, but they're just a little bit costly when they get hit, but I should be rarely hitting them. Especially as we move into a little bit of a routine in the market. Like these first couple weeks are just kind of like a little bit funny as the market finds its feet, I guess you could say. And so you get these kind of just long extended moves without a whole lot of volatility. And that happened at the first week that I started trading in the new year. Then it happened on the Monday of the second week. And was it 2 times or 3 times now? I think it was 2 times. Okay, so now I'm just going to trail the stop loss up here. Up right underneath that red line, and then it's just below these 1 minute candle lows. So it has a bit of breathing room. And we make profit if it comes back down and hits it. So we're in a good spot to just make profit either way. The market can go whichever way it wants and we make profit. That's what we want. And then so my rule when I when I trail my stops up, my rule is to just keep securing these trades behind the 5 minute candle closes. So in this case, I already secured it here. So I guess technically I'm just a little bit ahead of my rules right now, but this candle is about to close. And then it will, if it continues to ride, it will just be every 5 minutes. I'll just keep locking in the profit. So there we go. There's the 5 minute candle close. So now technically I move my stop here, right behind that candle. And just let it sit. If it pulls back down into this high, I'm going to also go long again. Let's go back down to the 1 minute chart. Oh wait, do I have enough room to make profit in here? From that high down to here, it's got to be right on that red line for me to take another trade and still be able to make profits before the old high. Just would barely work. So we'll see. But the thing is, if it goes back down to that red line, it's just tempting to cross back into there. So we'll see what happens here. See, it's coming through with energy, so I better maybe not take the trade just yet. Okay, so there's the stop loss hit for profit, and the market is coming right back down. I'm going to just still take the trade here. What is going on? Why is it so delayed this morning? What is going on here? Guys, I'm going to just try and reload my MT5. I can't be having that like couple second lag. Okay, I'm going to just try and close this and restart. Okay, back up and running. So I'll enter another one right here. Oh, I gotta put my variables back in here. To take profit, 35 pip stop loss, and buy. Four-second delay. What is going on? Huh. Very strange. Felt like I was actually getting more of a spread. on that entry as well. Okay. So I bought again, and the delay was a little bit shorter that time. Gonna just try that news. Can go back over to that news for a second. Okay, there we go. So here's that CAD news in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Those are just orange folders, and it's on the CAD, so probably not going to do too much to us on the euro dollar, but hopefully just starts to get the whole markets moving a bit. And at 9:45 is the flash manufacturing PMI on the dollar. Okay, we wait. So I'm looking at this market carefully here. If this market starts to round over, um, I just want to be careful that this doesn't, if this rounds over, it's starting to create turn back down on the longer term charts. So I'm just going to have to be careful. I might start to chip away. I'm going to take a loss already on that top trade just to get rid of that risk in case it does head back down. So I'll just go over to the history. And I just took a $1 win. And then I took an 80-cent loss. And that sets me up far better for if the market pulls back down or starts to round over. So just a nice little habit to be in when you're trading live and you're managing your risk live. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stretch this take profit out a little bit more. And then that will just make up for the few cents that we lost while pulling that little, taking that little loss. So now if it does continue to go back up, we can make just a little bit more on that trade. And if it goes down from here, our risk is much less, which is what we want. We always want to keep the risk as low as possible. Constant risk mitigation is the key to consistent success in the market. So again, it puts us in a position where we don't really care which way it goes. We just want the market to move up and down, up and down, up and down. This market pulls back any lower, I'll grab another buy again on this level. Got my finger on the trigger. One more little push. There we go. Buy that. 5-second delay that time. Man, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't like that. And I'm not sure why that delay is coming in. My internet looks to be fine. And my platform also seems like it's fine. So I'm not sure what is going on, where the error is. And I'm not a super high-tech kind of guy. I don't know my computer that well. So I'm just watching closely over the next 5-10 minutes to see if we build another shoulder type price development that we've got over here. If we build something similar to this on this side, there is a good chance we'll see a run back down. So I'm just keeping my eye on that in that 5 and 15 minute time frame to see how this develops. It can hold back over this little red line. That's a pretty good indication of an up leg. And then it also starts to decrease that chance of that head and shoulder pattern that I was looking at if it was going to establish that. So that is pattern is starting to decay and expire. So another push down and I'll just get into another trade if it will. Actually, just gonna hold up a little bit here. If it pushes down, again, we might have that market coming all the way back into these lows. So I'm just gonna hold up, be slow to make my decision in here. Make the breakdown. So now's not the time to add. If it's going to break, you let it run. That candle wicked right back up above the red line. The first indication that it may not break down. So I'm going to consider, because that 1 minute candle is giving me, telling me what the market wants to do next. So I'm getting this real-time data as to whether I can add in. So I'm actually going to add a position in here now. Just one. I want to keep it really light. Then if it makes its turn back up, we can start hitting some targets. It's been a bit of a sleepy start. I'm sorry, I just had this muted. Um, hey Larry, it is nice to have you this morning. I think I had my audio muted, so welcome, and it's really cool to see you. It's good to have familiar faces in here. Yeah, I'm also having trouble with Alveo as well. I'm hoping to be using that platform on in these daily lives, but they just got to work out a couple of the kinks still and get that running a little bit more smoothly, and then we can start getting back into that. But yep, I'm having the trouble too. It's not just you. Yeah, I uninstalled it twice already. Well, between last night and this morning, and it's still kind of just not loading up. So we'll just have to exercise patience with that platform. Yeah, yeah, me too. Okay, that market is popping back up, looking like it wants to hit some profit targets. Super close. Okay, we've got that engulfing candle right in there. And then we had one candle holding in the highs. Now this candle is trying to break back down. Didn't quite hit any targets, so it couldn't really do anything. Just still in a waiting game. But now, for me, if this market comes all the way back down to this level, this is now showing a little bit of support here on that level. So that's some new data to work with. And I could potentially just add to this position just a little bit in here as well. So we'll see what happens next. A little rejection to the downside on the current candle, so that might get us back into the high side and hit some targets. Larry, do you trade on any other platforms? Okay, that market not wanting to pop up. But further, I will add into that position. I got my finger on the trigger. Just one more little dip. All right, try that spot right here. And that gets the target under the previous high. So that's a good spot. My layers are kind of just blanketed into one big one because they're just not offering clean levels right now. So okay, now it wants to break down. So when it gets down into here, I'll get into a bit of a bigger layer. And then I'll be looking to shave off risk on the top side. Yeah, Larry, I'm just at the moment I'm just working with the FTMO, the prop firm, just working a couple prop accounts and giving them a try at the moment. I don't have my money in another broker at the moment, but I'm kind of like shopping around to see where I'm trying to open up an interactive broker account right now. And but otherwise I want to just build up a couple different prop firm accounts and just get those behind me. If I can use other people's money, I'd prefer to do that at the moment. So this is the FTMO prop account, and they're really well known. Yeah, FTMO. I'll put it in here. Maybe I can actually put the website in. Yeah, FTMO have been around for years as well. Huh. Man, I'm struggling with my internet this morning. I'll just put it in the chat anyway. You can just look these guys up. When you go search them, you'll come up with all their stuff. But they've been around for a long time and they're reputable. So if the market can push back down just one more time, I'm going to get into a bit of a bigger layer. Going to get into probably 3 or 4 trades in this zone. Then if it breaks down, I better actually just check and make sure I can afford to do that. Because then I got to get into a big layer down here. I'm going to at least get into 2 in here. 1, 2. Right on that spot. Yeah, you know what? I better just... So I'm going to go into 2 here, and then I'll get into 4 down here. That will keep me on the safe side, on the conservative side for now. And then, so here's the 5-minute chart. When that breaks down and starts heading into this zone, that's going to be a good ways away, though. Like, it's going to have to go another 15, 20 pips to get down into that trend support. So that's why I'm just trading light in this area right now in case it does want to break. all the way down to there. I don't think it's going to, but I just have to be prepared because it might. So the next spot for me is to buy in here in this zone right in there. Yeah, you're welcome. Look those guys up. They've got a they've got a good proprietary trading firm and a really good platform too. They've got a great back end so that you can like check all your stats, and they have a really good dashboard. So yeah, if you're gonna trade a prop from those are a good place to start those with those guys. Have you ever had any prop firm accounts, Larry? We tried a couple. Yeah, generally the prop accounts are they advertise well, and but they don't often have all the numbers in their traders' favor. So it's very easy to lose an account. Absolutely doable. The business is a legit business, but for the most part, it's very difficult, and it's in the favor of the prop firm, kind of like the casino. You know, the probability and the favor is on the other guy's side. But if you know that and you're aware of it and you can manage your risk really well, you can still win. You can still beat them, but it's difficult. Yeah, God is definitely with us all the time. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, on that prop note too, this is a prop account, and I'm hoping that over the next couple weeks I'll be able to level it up and beat the evaluation. That's my hope and plan, is that I'll get to do this in front of people. And while doing it, I'm keeping myself accountable and keeping my risk really low and in check. And that should be what I need to level this account up. in the meantime, while we're waiting for the apiary accounts to be ironed out. Because for me, I love Alveo. When Alveo is working properly, it is by far the best trading platform. It's my favorite. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And for me, the apiary fund is just my home. That's like home base for me. Don't plan on leaving anytime soon. But it's good to have some other options for your accounts. You want to be able to, if anything happens, you want to have multiple options on where you can trade and where you can make some money. So it's good to find brokerages and or prop firms. Wow, this is a sleepy start, and I think it's because the market is waiting for that news, which now is in 45 minutes from now. Guaranteed, guaranteed that news will bring the volatility back, but this has been super slow. And that's kind of how Fridays can be. They're just a little bit more unpredictable. Yeah, I think if you know that Fridays can be, I call them Freaky Fridays, but if you know that and you have that in the back of your mind, then you can trade them too. Like I know some people just don't even trade Fridays. Like Kim doesn't even like to trade Fridays at all, and I get it because they can be just wild rodeos sometimes. So I generally will trade lighter on a Friday, so it can endure those wild rodeos that come about. Okay, this market's really trying to get down to that next level. Just get there, please. Just do something. Up or down. Don't really care. Just get down here and I'll get into a good size stack of trades. And it's struggling even to get down. One more little push and I'll just slightly start getting into that layer. But I really want it to get down to that red line. And even a little bit deeper is also fine. I could see this market breaking these lows and still not really running away from them as well. So I'm prepared to see that market come down and break these lows, and that's where I want to get my position in. And even lower than that for a potential whipsaw. So I'm prepared to load my position in all the way once it even breaks that low. That's where I'm looking at getting in long. And it seems like this market's rounding a bottom in a sense that's making a higher high rather than wanting to go all the way down into these lows. It's kind of rounding over. So the next push down, I'll start making, I'll start turning this into a layer rather than waiting for it to go all the way down to there because it's starting to show it the signs that it's rounding up sooner. So now, yeah, I'll just wait for the pushes lower and start getting into some trades in here. Right in here. Hey Larry, have you been spending any time with Rex's group in Logan's Grove? I was just in his class, yeah, yesterday. I was just learning about his options group. You're familiar with that then? So are you in the group? My kids are just being wild. Um, I haven't been in the group. I was just chatting with Rex yesterday. I'm going to get into that group though. So that'd be cool. If you get in there, I'll get in there too. I would really like to get a good grasp on options. It's not something I know very well, I know very little about it, so I definitely want to improve, build my skill set in options trading. I'm gonna leave my email in the chat too, and if you want to touch base with me, just send me an email and we can like chat about that a little bit more. Okay, nice. That is good to know. I think Rex was gonna get back to me in my email. I actually didn't even check my email yet this morning. I just started out in here, so I'll check my email after this session is done. All right, well, that market's deciding to head back up and take a little bit of profit. So now if it drops back down, I'm going to get into it a little bit more heavily. I want it to come back down so I can get in a little bit more. There's another target. And this is really starting to V bottom. It's kind of like a parabolic shape. So we could see this just start heading all the way back up. And if it heads down, I will load back in to some more trades, and then I'll probably just maybe start taking some losses at that point. But I'm just going to hold up for now. This market is really aiming back up. So I'm not going to take losses just yet. If it comes up a little bit more, maybe I'll take a loss, or if it comes back down, I'll just start to load in some more longs. I've become so much more disciplined and very intentional about everything I'm doing here in the market. And as I'm saying it over and over and relaying it, I'm cementing that into my mind. So this has been super beneficial to me, and I hope that I can bring value to the people that show up here as well. That's very nice of you to say, Larry. I appreciate that. I feel like he's going to use me in strong ways as well. I hope so. That market is just slowly shaping up for another. I'm going to just put a couple little markers in here and show you what I'm seeing. We've got this little leg over here, that point, and then it's trying to do the same kind of thing right over here. These are acting like little shoulders on the 1 minute chart. So we've got this leg down from here, and then we've had the leg up there, and then this big leg down, and then another leg back up, and then a really small leg right here. But now what I'm looking at is if this starts to break up, there's a good chance that this will follow through all the way back up into these highs. Or maybe this builds a little bit more of a shoulder in here. Can I grab this thing? Yeah, either where it's at now or maybe another bit of a deeper shoulder. That's kind of the shape that's coming in right now. So that's why I'm not taking any losses. I generally would be taking losses. If you'd see me through the week, I would be taking losses generally. But because of this shape right now, I'm just going to let it sit. I'm expecting to see something along the lines of this. Oh boy, I can't wait for this market to pick up. It's so sleepy. Half an hour until the news. That market is trying to build that pattern right now as I'm speaking. It is trying to break up. And so there's a good chance we'll see another leg to follow through to the upside. Difficult. It's not moving. It's just so stuck right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes of nothing. I'm gonna pull out to the 50 or the 5-minute chart and see what it looks like. Well, it's still shaping up to move to the upside, so just hang on and be patient. What was that? Be patient. Right. Well, it is that 1-minute bar's starting to break and hold. Hopefully start taking some profit here. There we go. Got some profit. And this pattern is shaping up now. So the more it develops what I think it's going to do, the more reason I have to just let it hang on and not necessarily take losses. You know, I should have probably moved one of my profit targets out of the way, but that's okay. So there we go. That's confirmed. Actually, I'm gonna just, oh, I missed it. Sorry. I was gonna extend another one of those out, but I can't now. But it is doing what I thought it was gonna do, which is nice. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 trades for the win and 1 loss. That's pretty good. Really similar to the other day. I think we had 7 trades and 1 loss. You don't want to get hung up on that though. I'm not, you like, for me, I have to be sure to take my losses where I'm supposed to take the losses. Don't get into the habit of just trying to make wins and hang on to winners, and then you start to hang on to losers longer than you should. At least I've found that I've done that in the past. So it just is what it is. It happens that we've got a good streak of wins, but also need to take the losses too, as we should. Okay, 20 minutes to the news. Got this really tight little consolidation spot where we could make a little bit of money. So I'm going to look to find ways to make a little bit of money in there. So I'm going to bring this target down into here. I'll let it take profit there. And then that will kind of just readjust the position for doing some little micro scalps. There we go. Just took profit. And that's it for all the trades. So what did we start out at? $99.52. And we're at $99.58. So we made $6 over the last hour. Hour and a half. That's a really slow hour and a half. But got some wins. Okay, buy. Perfect. See how that target just easily fits inside that consolidation. That's all I'm trying to do. If it pushes down again, I will do the same thing and buy again. And then find a little spot in here in these lows. And then hopefully that will start to speed up the income flow. The profits are smaller, but they should start to happen a little bit more frequently than what was happening over the past hour and a half. So it's just a little adaptation to the current conditions. Okay. One more push down. Got my finger on the trigger. Gotta be careful not to add in the exact same spot because you don't get any advantage by adding into the same spot again. So really got to see a significant push down before adding into that position. Okay, gonna get ready to add again. Oh, just popped right back up. Okay, well, there's a profit target. That's good. So now let's just check the history. So now those are 50-cent trades. Those 1 pip take profits are now 50 cents each time. I don't know about you, but I'll do that all day if it'll keep showing up. Okay, another push down. I'm gonna buy it. And then I'm wanting it to push down again. I'll get it, buy it again. One more little push, buy. Okay. Now we got 2 on there. There we go. Another profit target. And you see, I'm making less on my profits, But when you tune your trading into the current price cycles, you can take smaller profits and actually make more money. And so here we are. We just took two trades immediately, which would be the same value of one of my other trades that took so much longer to hit profit. So I feel like we're in sync with the current conditions right now. Just a little adaptation to get in line with the price cycles. Got to be patient this morning. I got a feeling that once that news comes in, we're going to see a whole different type of trading. And we're getting closer to that news now. Okay, there's a push down. I can get back in. Larry, I don't know if you're still with us, but I got your email, so thank you very much. Yeah, I'm currently trading. Okay, another profit target. See, now we're in sync with those price cycles. I'm trading with a 0.05 lot size in a 10K, almost a 10K account. I'm going to buy into this again. Another push down, I'll buy it again. Yeah, half many lots. Another profit target. Yeah, we're definitely in sync with those little price cycles. It's much better to be making some money, even though that they're really small. It's just way better. At least it feels like you're doing something too. We're just squeezing, strangling the little market and like actually making money with it. So 5 targets in 10 minutes. That's fantastic. This pops down, we'll do it again. One more little push lower. Oh, just missed it. And I expect this. Okay, so we're 5 minutes to the news. I'm expecting to see some volatility start to show up before the news, and then we'll see what happens right at the news. So if I can, I'll maybe try and get one or two more trades in, and then I'll see if I can maybe get out before the news. I'm not too concerned if I blend into the news and I've got positions on because it's super light, and my targets are very high probability. So if I have a little position on, that's fine. I definitely want to take advantage of this sideways movement. Larry, is there anything that you would like to see? Like, can I help cover anything that would, just help you in your current trading journey? Let me know if there's anything you want to see or if you want me to cover, and I'll maybe just try and tackle that. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking through my trading and what I'm thinking and how I'm operating. Because I know in my earlier days, that was really just what was helpful to me, seeing somebody talk through how they operate. Here's a little push down. Perfect. I'm going to buy that. And if it pops back up for profit, I'll take a break even on the top one. Getting really close to the news. Flash manufacturing PMI in 1 minute. And I'm going to set my take profits back to the 2 pip range and get that ready for the bigger moves that we'll see in 30 seconds. I'm going to just add one more into here and I'll just hold. Actually, I'm going to take one take profit off in case it decides it wants to run up. Just to let one ride if it decides where it's going to go. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is going to be probably a dud, a non-event. Actual 52.5 on flash services. Manufacturing is 51.9. It's pretty much nothing. So for me, that is saying that we might see some up and down through here, but it's not going to change the direction that the market has already been heading overall. So over the past week, it's been bullish, and so I'm going to hang on to that bullish bias, just because there's no catalyst to change it between this news. So, oh, and then there's revised UOM consumer sentiment right at 10 o'clock Eastern. So in 14 more minutes. So we'll see if that does anything. But for buy this little bit. Five, six, seven, 8 trades in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 8 trades in 20 minutes with profit targets hit. So that's good. And on these dips, I'm going to just keep buying. I'm just going to buy one here. See, my target doesn't quite come in before that high. That's okay. There should be enough volatility to take that out for a win. Another push down, and I'll take another buy. Because that's not wanting to break, I'm just going to take that one off for profit. I got a feeling it's going to come back down. Well, maybe I took that off just the wrong time. But regardless, it's a win. And we're over the 960 mark now. I'm going to take this one off too if we get a little push up, because it's got this high to get past, so I can just pull this target down so that it hits before it has to break that high. just bounced off that target. You know, I'm just gonna take profit off because I want to have something if it breaks out to the upside. I kind of wish I'd kept that bottom one on. It just kind of tricked me. So I'll leave this one on now in case it decides to run up. And then I'm going to clear these charts all the way off and just reassess how things are going. Objects. Get rid of all that. Take off the history. I'm going to secure this trade in. Just like that. Now it's a free trade. It seems to be deciding whether it wants to go for a leg, like a good run up. It's trying to. I'm going to buy the dips. At the moment, I'm just kind of seeing this, kind of got like an inverse crown here on this bigger time frame. I'm going to pull up the 5 minutes, see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks a little bit better on this. It's kind of like a triple bottom or an inverse crown right in here. Got this pivot, and then there's another pivot here with another one here, and they're just kind of slowly ascending. I think it might even look better on the 15. So yeah, it looks a little bit better on the 15-minute. So the higher time frame has a decently strong pattern developing right now. So the chances of this breaking up are really good, really high. So because we're in a really high probability state, I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive, just a little. I'm not going to overextend to where I can't maneuver my way out of problems, but I'm just a little bit more confident in where the market is heading now, based on why on the 15-minute chart we got a good strong pattern coming in. So any push down, I'm going to buy it, and then I'm also going to hold a couple positions as well. I'm going to take this one off. I would like it to go against me a bit more so I can get into a bigger position. I've got my finger on the trigger in case it drops down. One more little push lower and I'll get in again. It's just such a good, strong chance that this is going to head to the upside. Okay, I'm going to buy that. I'm also going to take that profit target off. So now I've got 3 sitting here without profit targets. I'm just going to let that sit. Gonna get into one more here. And then if the market comes crashing back down into these areas, I'll leave those targets back on, and I'll start just wobbling my way out of these upper positions. So I'll be taking trades in here. More in here. And then I'll just kind of wait and see what happens after that. Definitely down here as well. Be right in there. And also right here. So there's the map for if the market comes back down, what levels it can play at. And from here all the way down to there is 15 pips. So I'll have to just trade this area lightly. In case it breaks all the way past back down. But when we zoom back out on the breakup. Back down to the 1 minute chart. I'm going to secure this trade. This is a super tiny little maneuver. I'm going to secure that one. And I'm going to grab this. I'm going to zoom in a whole bunch more. I'm going to take this trade, pull it over here so that I can put this stop loss also into a break even. And then I'm going to take this one, move that stop loss here so I can grab it. And I'm going to put that one in a break even position. So they're all break even. This one's I'm gonna pull this up a little bit more. And we're in a completely free trade. I just wanted to reiterate that I wanted to take one trade off to pay for the commissions on all these other 3 trades in case the market does smash back down through there. So now I'm making profit for sure. I'm going to measure these cycles in here. Yeah, it's like barely 2 pips, so 1 pip take profits would have been really good in there. I'm going to just pull this back down to 1 pip in case it pulls back again. I'm going to try and take advantage of these swings, these mini micro swings. Because I have that position below locked in, I can just completely forget about it right now. And I can add into my overall position and keep trading, which is what I want to do. I want to keep pulling in profit as much as I can. So any little push down now, I'm going to take these tiny little 1 pip micro scalps and see if we can just keep the income flow. We're in good shape. It doesn't matter where this market goes. Okay, trying to break up again. And I think I'm going to just pull the 5-minute. Oh no, I need this bar to close. So another 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so. And then I'll secure my trades up a little bit higher if this turns into the pivot. Because my rule is to keep trailing behind the 5-minute bars with my trades that are running. So I keep locking in profit. But you can see this pattern, it is definitely starting to shape up and it is confirming as we speak. It's going to maybe struggle a little bit with these highs from yesterday. I'm just going to put a line. You know what? I'm going to just clear the charts again now. And I'll just redraw the chart. Okay. If that market comes smashing back down now, I want to just be slower to reassess the situation. So I'm just taking those lines off for now. I want to see what's happening up here. We've got this level that it's contending with right in here. And then we're going to have the high from yesterday right on here. That is the 176 right on the dot, pretty much right there. 1.176 is yesterday's high. So we'll see if it can start making new highs today. I think it's going to. With the shape of this down here, I can see this pushing into new highs this morning or into the afternoon maybe. Because, let me just check the chat. Okay. So what I'm seeing now is today the market has really only moved 26 pips. And on a daily average, it's moving around 70 pips. So on average, this should move a lot more than what it has. And so which way is it going to go? If it's going to go directional, I think it's leaning towards the upside. It doesn't have to. It could spin around and go to the downside too. But on average, it should move a lot more than what it has. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's trying to come all the way back in again. Almost hit those stop losses. I think this is going to reverse back up. We've got this gap here on the 1 minute chart. This is pretty rare to see. I'm going to just refresh here. Okay, so that's an actual gap. It's very likely going to get filled. Oh, wow. It's hitting, it's coming all the way back down. Huh. So we still made break even and a little profit on that move down, which is good when you can make money when you're essentially being proven wrong. I think I'm just still going to get back into that, but now with targets back on. It's kind of like yesterday. It didn't really get a strong break, but it did keep moving up for a while. So I wonder if that's what we're going to see again today. Like this move earlier today. It just kind of kept grinding upward. I wonder if that's what's going to happen again. And if we get that kind of market, we can make money in that too. So that's also fine. I'm gonna get into another position and I'm gonna take profit off of one again. I still see this big 15-minute chart still influencing on the bigger time frame, but I'm just micromanaging right now, so I think it's still going to head to the upside. So again, these tiny little moves. I'm tempted to drop my take profit down again to take advantage of really small conditions, really small price cycles. Oh, there we go. There's a break to the upside. Come on. I almost hit that take profit. Just one more little push. And now we've got an actual confirmed break on the 5-minute side. Oh, just missed that target. Okay, I'm going to back this off. And I'm going to buy. And I'm going to just assume that the market is going to do these little price cycles to the upside. And try and just capitalize on a sideways grinding consolidation type market. Similar to yesterday. So we'll see. It drops down, I'm going to buy it again. Wow, this is so not what I expected here. Where is the energy? And so I'm going to leave one profit. I'm going to leave my one position on without a target. And I'm not going to be so concerned about trying to secure it because I think that this market maybe just do, if it's going to do that sideways grind, what's going to happen is I'm going to keep securing my positions and it's going to keep taking them out for break even. So I don't want that to happen. Oh, maybe there's some profit targets now. Okay, well, it looks like now it's trying to take off. Oh man, kind of a bummer that took those other positions out. But I'm going to leave those 1 pip take profits on for now, and on the pullbacks, I'm going to just keep adding into it. I think I was just a little bit impatient with that 15-minute chart development. Probably should have hung on to those trades that I had got into earlier. But I don't know. You never know which way this thing's actually going to go or how it's going to develop. So I really was just following my rules, and that's all you can do. But it seems like now it's going to go for a run. And if it doesn't, these one pip take profits are going to be the way to go. Okay, I'm going to buy. And that target comes in before the previous high. Oh, looks like we got profit. Yep. So I'm going to do it again. If it pushes down, do it again. And just keep forcing the market to give us a little bit of money. This is what I call strangling the market. And there's profit target again. Oh, that was a little bit of a smaller one. I think I got a little bit of bad position slippage when I entered. There's a pullback. I'm going to buy it again. And a pullback. I'm going to buy it again. Finger on the trigger in case it dips down again. Like that, buy that. Did it go? Oh, okay. No, I just did two. There's that lag again. Very interesting market conditions. Gonna have to wait now in case it drops back down. I'm kind of buying high, and that gets kind of risky. So I'm gonna have to just hold off. Well, I am really surprised that we didn't get more out of that news. I mean, it wasn't ended up not being impactful, but I just expected to see more participants making this market move. Okay, there's some profit. Profit target. And we've got a confirmed 3 bar reversal. And if this drops down again, I will just buy it again. Gonna buy. I gotta hold. I'm gonna get oversized too quick doing this, so I gotta just hold back. Buy this one. And then I gotta hold. And so here's the 1 minute trend, sitting right on it right now. There's a profit target. There's more profit targets. And there's some more profit targets. And I'm gonna take one. Oh, I'm gonna buy on the dip. Gonna buy if dips buying there. If it drops again, I'll buy again. There we go. Buy again. And I just gotta be really careful because this is fairly heavy size to be buying at the top. But I think I'm in sync with the market conditions. So that's why I'm a little bit okay to do that. And that's based off of what happened yesterday, too. It's based off of what happened yesterday and what happened earlier this morning. Just the grind up, so it's kind of like a sideways upward grind. We're getting that again. And so I think I'm getting in sync with the market mood with current conditions. So I'm a little heavy, and so if it drops down, I'm just really gonna have to wait and let that price float around for a while. But if it decides to keep grinding up, then we're gonna do really well. Down here, one more buy. Stop. There's a profit target. If it dips down, I'll buy it again. Okay, buy that again. I don't know if that took. It did. It essentially hit the take. That was a bad entry. It kind of slipped, and then it also took it, so it was a zero. So that's kind of annoying. I was gonna try and take the take profit off because the take profit was sitting on the order line as well, and that's no good. So we really didn't make any money on that. I was too slow to take that take profit off though. Okay, I'll try it again. If it dips down again, I'll try and buy it. One more little push down. Right here. I'll buy that. And then hold in case it breaks down. I am a little bit heavy up here on the top side. 40. So if I can get another up leg, probably gonna call that a day. I don't want to be stuck in here for much longer. Tried to break down right there and rebounded. So on a micro level, we've had this support zone. The market tried to break down and then it popped right back up. So that opens up the door for there's profit targets just getting hit to the upside. But it is a micro level. We're barely moving right now. Surprisingly, super small movements. But this little rejection is a pretty good sign for our current trade setup. Right in there, super small rejection. And that bar closed above all these highs, so we have an official 3-bar reversal on the 1-minute chart. So now the door's open for this leg to continue up. Wow, so slow. I can't believe it. Okay, there's a drop. I'm going to buy the dip. It is so dead today. I feel like we patiently waited to get that volatility from the news, and then it just didn't even do anything. And here we are sitting here still barely doing anything. Okay, there's profit target. I think we're doing the best we can with this little movement, though. These are tough conditions to make money in, and we've managed to keep the income flowing through these super small moves. So that's good. More profit targets. Nice. Gonna take a small loss off the top and a little. Oh, come on now. It's not closing when I'm telling it to. Nice. Awesome candle. About time. So that's really cool. I'm gonna just secure this last trade on here. Wow. My system is just lagging again. So I'm gonna secure this right in here for a free trade. It got there. And I will sit with you guys for the next until the top of the hour. I'm gonna keep my finger I'm gonna keep my take profits at 1 pip and see if I can squeeze any little bit out of this market, but I'm gonna just be much more careful. And we've got a 5 minute bar close higher than the other highs. But so we'll see now. Oh yeah, we got price closing over these highs too. I feel like what's happening was just like a super delayed breakout on the 15 minute. Super delayed. Pull up that 15 minute chart. Let's have a look at that. Take all that trade history off. Yeah, what a weird type of price action. I wonder if it just looks better on the 1 hour. Not particularly. Just kind of a rounding bottom on the 1 hour chart. It really is opening up the door for like this cup and handle pattern. So we've got this teacup here, and then we've got this little handle coming in. So this could be the spot where it decides to go for a run. It's just really much later than I expected and very delayed getting there. But sometimes you just got to be so patient. So if that hour bar does close up here, that's a really good signal for the market to go for a run and go try for some new highs. Like a couple days ago, that high, we should touch that today. If not, go blow right past it. Yeah, I think we're going to. Should get back into these highs way back here. From the Christmas season. That period was right over there. So I think we'll hit those Christmas highs today. There's the 1,800. 1.18 is there. And that would be 40 pips more. It definitely could do it today, but it is so slow. I just don't know if it's got the energy. Gonna pull up that daily again. Yeah, and you can see this candle on the daily chart. It is still barely moved. It's got 27 pips of movement. So an average candle can still easily take it all the way up to these old highs from Christmas. Just one average candle. So it's still definitely a probability or a possibility. Not necessarily a probability, but if we were to get an average candle in the upside, we would go to those Christmas highs. So I don't think I'm gonna hang around and keep doing this. There we go. That 5-minute bar is really taking off now. Wow, just super delayed. But I'm gonna secure this in here. Just make sure I lock that profit in. The cat's chatting. What you saying? Hmm? $9967.23 is where we're at. And the starting balance of today was 9952.33. So that puts us at 1490. Almost $15. Divide that by 9952.33 times 100 equals 0.15%. That is getting pretty consistent from yesterday as well. So a 0.15% gain on the day today. Nice little gain. And guys, I'm going to just wrap that up for today. That was a pretty long and slow session. I just want to I'm going to go over what we just did because there was a really good spot where we just adapted to the conditions and we're able to make money. So that was what we made on the day. I'm going to pull up the trade history here. And I want to go over this spot because this is where we just were able to keep the profits coming in. So I took what happened from yesterday, the market conditions from yesterday and the market conditions from earlier today combined with what I was seeing, and I dropped my take profits down to 1 pip, and that allowed us to keep taking profits all the way through this really tight range. And so from this section all the way over to here, that's 26 over 20 minutes of trading. We managed to get all kinds of trades in there. So we landed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 trades over the course of that 20 minutes or so. So we really just kept the income coming in a very tight range, which was really good. So that's what I call strangling the market and just kind of like forcing the market to give you a little bit of money. And you can do that when you trade really light. And that's what we were doing today. So great little session. Nice little gains, good performance, kind of lousy for price action today, but strong finish. So guys, that's gonna finish up the week. Being Friday, I'm gonna come back. I'll be back here on Monday,